Some ads make people feel happy, sad, emotional, nostalgic, or even inspired. But there are some ads which leave you infuriated, embarrassed, and even disgusted. Today we are looking at some of the popular ads that have received complaints for being objectionable as per the ASCI report, What India Finds Offensive. Let's check it out. So welcome to the channel, guys. This is Rahul Mandal, aka Mandal Bhari. I'm a brand communication and creative strategist, and I help young aspiring marketers to learn more about strategy for its application to branding, advertising, and social media. Basically, everything marketing. So today we are looking at this report from the Advertising Standards Council of India, ASCI, which is called What India Takes Offense To. It is a list of different complaints that they've received from the audiences with respect to certain campaigns or certain brand films and advertisements that have been, broadcasted either on TV or on digital. Let's look at a few of them and have some fun. So the first brand we are looking at is this brand called Ziddi Perfume. And before we look into the complaint, let's have a look at the ad.
जो पसीने में नहाते हैं असली मर्द कहलाते हैं। ऐसे पसीने को टक्कर देने के लिए रियल मैन डियो का जिद्दी परफ्यूम।
No wonder it got a complaint. Let's read what the complaint actually says. This advertisement aims at creating an image and prejudice about how men are supposed to be and how they should act, thus promoting toxic masculinity. Therefore, I'd like to report this ad as my complaint. Well, to be honest, yes, it does promote toxic masculinity because I think we are far beyond the era of men having to be macho all the time. That reminds me, have I seen something similar before?
Like a mud should.
Let's not talk about it. My take, I agree with the complaint. Understanding the social mindset of the larger audience and using a regressive thought process to try and sell your product, that is basically commercial gains, is not really a great thing to do. The brand might argue that, okay, we are talking to the masses and we are still talking to an Indian audience, but as brands, it is still our responsibility to not project that regressive thought process and, at least not make things worse. The next brand we are looking at is one of the recently popular brands which I personally love, but let's have a look at this one ad which might have a small bit of a problem.
Push. Doctor, newborn baby का skin pH 7 होता है, right?
होता है, come on, push.
होना चाहिए 5.5?
Push, come on.
तो मेरे बेबी का first बार Sebamed से होगा ना?
बच्चे को आने तो दो.
माँ का दिल है, सवाल पूछेगा ही, इसलिए Sebamed with perfect pH 5.5. बेबी के स्किन की पूरी सुरक्षा प्रथम स्नान से. Sebamed.
Pratham Snan se. And let's read out what the complaint says. So after watching this ad, the complainant says, there are some questions for you that my 3-year-old daughter asked me after watching this ad. Sebamed woman giving delivery. Dad, what is this about? Why is this woman crying? Why is this woman covered with bedsheet? What is the doctor looking at between her legs? Is it good to look at someone like this? Now what and how should I answer her? I think the intent behind the messaging of the moms being really cautious about what products they use with their children, especially the newborns, is kind of spot on. So it's a wonderful insight, but one small thing in execution that got kind of overseen, which was the fact that this particular act is going to be on a particular medium, which is TV, and it's a different story with digital as well, right? So when it's on TV, there are kids watching, and that creates a very embarrassing situation in a culture like ours. So still love the brand, but I think we could have executed this a little differently. What do you think? The next brand that we're looking at has received a complaint which makes me go, ये तो बड़ा toying है. Let's check it out.
1, 2, 3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3,
3.4.
I have just one thing to say. ये तो बड़ा objectifying है. How would you have felt if we changed the genders? Would you behave the same way? Would you laugh? Huh? Okay, so Vicky Kaushal selection of the person was pretty spot on, but again, the use of the brand on mass media is pretty much, I mean, we all saw how objectifying that was, right? And so yeah, my take is that I agree with the complaint, and it is a little too objectifying for either genders, not just about men or women. That is upfront wrong. Okay, so the next ad we are going to look at is a fun brand, and I'm surprised they even they got into trouble. So this brand is Bingo Mad Angles, and this is the ad featuring Ranveer Singh. Now let's have a look at the ad first and then we read the complaint.
कॉलेज तो खत्म हो गया, अब आगे क्या प्लान है? What plans?
आगे क्या प्लान है? इस पुराने एंगल से बचने के लिए मैड एंगल।
अब आगे क्या प्लान है?
अंकल, पैराडॉक्सिकल फोटॉन्स ऑफ अतरंगी एल्गोरिथम को K = MC² में लगाकर इंटरस्टेलर मित्रमंडल कॉन्फ्रेंस के एलियंस की फीलिंग्स मैच करने का प्लान। जब लोग पकाएं डिफरेंट एंगल तो लाओ सोच का नया एंगल। बिंगो मैड एंगल्स अब 2 नए एक्साइटिंग फ्लेवर्स में, चीज नाचो और पिज्जा फ्रॉम ITC।
तो आगे क्या?
Okay, let me tell you something. Max relate. But before we get into the dissection of the situation, let's read out what the complaint was. So the complainant says, the ad is a very bad example of how to treat your elders. I didn't know we were doing moral science classes here. The ad takes a dig at the typical what's the plan now question, a question that elders usually ask young college passouts. Instead of seriously and factually responding to questions, Ranveer makes up an answer that means nothing but is full of scientific terms. Well, what did he expect? My take, I think the ad is on point. They connect to a very relatable situation that every youngster goes through, and as a brand they've given it a whole different angle. Okay, so for this next one, this one particular ad is something I saw myself and it made me angry. And I'm sure it'll make you angry too if you've not seen this before. Let's look into it.
It's so hard to find what to watch.
तो अब क्या करें?
You say.
Get ready. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop! 8? We're gonna watch the 8 show on the app.
Don't do crazy things to find what to watch. Download Lionsgate Play, an all-new global streaming app with blockbuster titles, exclusive movie premieres, and never-seen-before TV series. Indulge in our curated playlist for endless entertainment.
Why would you do that to the brand? To the agency, why couldn't you come up with something better? To the client, how could you approve this? So, what is my take? I agree with this complaint. The ad started off really well, actually creating intrigue, but what was expected to be a moment where they catch us off guard left us rather in bad taste of the brand. So, bacho, remember, don't compromise on brand safety for humor.
Sorry, Shaktiman.
Okay, now this next brand is a mass favorite, but it still couldn't escape the complaint box of the ASCI. Let's have a look at this one.
ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವಿರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರೇ ಇರಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ
ಏಯ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಸಂತ ಅಂದವನೇ ನಿನ್ಗೀಗ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ.
ನಿಂಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನವನ್ನು ಫೆವಿಕಾಲ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಂಟಿಸ್ಬೇಕಂತ.
ಅದು ಇವ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಂಟುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ.
ಫೆವಿಕಾಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಧಾರಣ ಅಂಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜಗತ್ತನ್ನೇ ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಿಸಿ ಬಿಡಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಫೆವಿಕಾಲ್ ಇದರ ಅಂಟಿಗೆ ಸಹಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Well, so the ad shows a particular traditional art form of something they call Yakshagana, and the story is around artists going wrong with their act just to create a situational use case for the brand, right? So the objection raised was basically disrespecting culture and tradition. So this is what the complaint reads. Fevicol is a classic example on how much ignorance and contempt it has for Yakshagana. Yakshagana is a unique blend of music, extempore dialogues, phenomenal dancing moves, rich makeup, and intrinsically designed costumes. This unique harmony is extensively found in Tullu Nadu and Malenadu regions of Karnataka and is exhibited from dusk to dawn, revered and celebrated by the coastal Karnataka people. Fevicol, denigrating Yakshagana, uses it as a tool to market its product. Well, what's my take? I think the dude just felt attacked by the whole situation while the situation was not trying to attack him. I think they just used an act to create a regional connect. But yeah, I mean, to this person who made this complaint, just chill, bro. So what's the strategy lesson here? Always assess if your use of a particular tradition, ritual, or an act of cultural significance could be taken in a wrong way. Unless you as a brand are trying to fight a certain taboo or a social stigma and intentionally trying to do it, that is a whole different story. But these socio-cultural nuances is what a strategist or an agency or all creative people need to be mindful of when doing such campaigns. So the next set of brand complaints that we're looking at are basically two different brands, but I've put them together because they've both attracted the same complaint. And these brands are Rio and Stayfree sanitary pads, and the complaint is basically against them showing red liquid in place of a blue liquid to basically demonstrate the product's usage. Let's look at what the complaint actually reads. Quote, "This advert should be banned. Few things are better, be symbolic." Quote, "This is not a bold move as claimed, but vulgarity and attack on women's privacy. This advertisement is not going to make things easy for girls but difficult. Our society still lacks the kind of sensitivity required to deal with such matters." Regarding the Stayfree ad, the complaint reads, "Before they were using blue color to show the flow, but now they are using red color to show the product use, and it is a very, very cheap way to show." So that's what the complaint reads. Well, so I mean, it's understandable that certain people have a problem and they think that the brand should stick to representative imagery. However, my take is that it's high time we take these things a little more seriously and break through these taboos and these stigmas. We have to get the real talk going, and such initiatives are always welcome, and that's where I personally would applaud both these brands, Rio as well as Stayfree, to show what really happens. So 3 cheers to these brands. Well, we've come to the last ad complaint that we are going to look at today, and let's watch the video and let's figure out what could be wrong with it.
Don't give love a name. Give it a Cornetto.
Well, that was cute, wasn't it? Now, what does the complaint read? Quote, how many creators of these advertisement will allow their spouses to grab ice cream from a stranger nearby? It is very cheap and it's cheap creativity. Another one says, quote, just for the ice cream, can't expect that people would go crazy and jump off the boundaries. And another one says, quote, cheap and dirty-minded creativity should not affect our social and cultural values. Well, so basically the complaint is around the brand promoting casualism in relationships, and obviously that's against the Indian cultures and tradition is what the problem or pain point for them is. What's my take? I think it's a very cute ad. Most of us related to it, I'm pretty much sure, especially Gen Z. We all know that feeling of having someone who we like, not as a friend, but more than a friend, but not a better half. And I don't know, it's complicated, and this ad communicated this complication in a pretty simple manner. So thumbs up from my side. So just a few honorable mentions from a few more brands that we've all popularly seen and appreciated. First one, White Hat Junior, the complaint being that it creates a very stressful environment for kids. The second brand is Cred, where for the Rahul Dravid advertisement, the complaint raised was that it is promoting vandalism. Another complaint was against ICICI Business Banking, where there was a reference to God as Uparwala, and the person has said that referring to God as Uparwala is promoting Islam, because in Sanatan Dharma, God is everywhere. And the last one is Licious, where the ads have been objected to from vegetarian families, saying that showing so much meat and it being cooked on TV makes it really uncomfortable for families who are vegetarian, which are a lot in India, right? So yeah, those were a few honorable mentions, and you'll find many more such examples of complaints which will help you understand what are the kind of things that Indians do take offense to. Download it from the description below and have a look at it. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments which of these ads did you find objectionable and which were not. Do hit the like button, share it with your agency friends, and subscribe for more content and videos where we'll be having fun, dissecting strategies, case studies, campaigns, and learning a lot more about strategy on everything marketing. Don't forget to visit www.mandalbhari.com, where I create much more content and give you a lot of tools for strategy and your social media marketing needs, and also follow me on social media. So that's it, and I will see you in the next video. That's Mandal Bhari signing off.